Hello, welcome to the Square Base Show with your host, Rob and Val. Today we are going through the Old World Stats Center and looking at all the event results from the past few
weeks. Special Val appearance on the Stats Show.
What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? We held the Stats Show off for a week, so this will be a double Stats Show because you were at an event and we wanted to make sure we could get you to cover that. But we were so busy reviewing the Raising of the Westland, a link in the Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Link in the cappuccino. We skipped it for weeks so we could get all that other information. Don't worry, we are still also going to be bringing you the law review. Don't worry that I know people are knocking down the door. They won't stop asking. Guys, you can read.
And I have been reading roughly one sentence per day of that lore, but I have been chugging through it. It's been fun.
How Rob makes Val read the law for the old world? I literally make him do it on stream. That's the answer, which is fun. So if you never tuned into the Old World Stats Show, we look at the event results that have happened from around the world, which is pretty exciting. And we look to see what those results kind of look like. A rough guesstimate, I think, from the past 2 weeks, we've got something like 140 people playing over quite a few different countries. We've got Sweden, we've got USA, we've got China, we've got the UK as well. And in addition to that, there were also some large team events. There was a large team event very recently at the Warhammer World just a weekend ago. Pretty large event. I think it had something like... No, that's not right. Something like 24-person teams, something like that. So it's quite a few people in attendance. Yeah, very fun. Very limited restrictions, though. For instance, I think the winning team were able to take both Cathay and the Jade Fleet.
Yes, and they won. Yeah.
So right now, as we're recording, there is a midweek Warhammer World event for 1,250 points where someone is playing 3 balloons. That's a lack of leadership by the events team at Games Workshop.
Let's see if we get a Facebook Live balloon cam, just like a chopper over a car chase in LA.
But we're going to be going through these. We've got Forgotten North, the Cali Cup, which is Val's event, Conquest. We got China for the Guangzhou Old World November, China. We also have both our first Old World Square-based comped event and also our first Square-based comped one-dayer that was ran in London just this weekend gone. So the community is really bubbling up and very frothy to play. Before we look at our first event, though, Mr. Val Heffelfinger, you have a couple of events coming up.
Yeah, there's 2 events that I want to shout out. One that I'm adjacently running. I won't be the judge. I'll probably be playing in it, similar to how Cali Cup worked out, and that's the TGX. And that is an Old World tournament. We got room for 32 players, and that's going to be basically the first week back after the holidays. So January 10th and 11th in Mississauga at the old arms factory or something like that. Really cool venue that our boy Lionel at X Planet Games has booked. There's 2 massive team events for 40K and AOS. It's singles though for Old World, so it's going to be head on one-on-one action. You will get you'll get the Square-based swag if you sign up, which is pretty fun stuff. I've got enough to give out for that one. Again, up to 32 players. I think we're about half full right now. So if you're interested, it's again January, what did I just say? 10th and 11th, 2026. It's running the same comp as Square-based Open Toronto though. So we won't be SBC, but still 2,200 points and fun. So you'll have a good time. And then after that, the Canhammer team tournament. Rob, a veteran of the Canhammer team tournament in the past. By the way, as team captain of Square-based, I'm just here to say that you will not be selected for the team this year, and I will never make you play Warhammer ever again. But tickets for that go on sale, I think this week, maybe even like today. So I will include links in the didgeridoo for both of those events if you wanted to participate. Canhammer Teams is first weekend May 2026 in Ottawa, right next to the airport. Wonderful venue, amazing organizers. My favorite event every year probably is Canhammer Team Tournament.
It's a great venue. I've done 40K there, AOS there, Old World there. It's a great venue, great location, great organizers. I agree. Yeah, also, if you're in the UK and you want to come to any events, I've obviously got all the events at the TSN Arena. From January onwards, we have both a bunch of foray events, so tsnarena.com, a bunch of foray events. I think we've got like one every 2 months. Also got a really fun themed river event and also a themed chaos event as well. Yep, nice. And all of the events are going to be SBC. So you can run those from January, which is super exciting as well. And update for people who may or may not know, we've obviously been working on a bat rep room / live tournament coverage room. And it's getting close. And I'm aiming for on the 14th and 15th, the 14th and 15th of December to hopefully be live streaming. 13th and 14th, sorry, 13th and 14th of December to be live streaming those matchups. Obviously, that's a question mark right now, but we'll see. But I'll also update you as we go live. But that'll be on the Honest Wargame. I could simulcast as well, but I'm probably not going to do that. There's a lot of like technical stuff which can and will go wrong. So probably early days, I'll just keep it to where I know is a comfortable space. But hopefully, we're going to deliver a pretty high end product. That's the goal, anyway.
I can promise you all out there who participated and chipped in, this has been top of mind for Rob. He's got top men working on it. Also known as Rob. The toppest man is working on it, and
that's
and
why I couldn't play. That's why I couldn't play at Canhammer. I'm too focused on something else. Too focused.
Just way too focused. That's why. And you know, with the team will pour one out for you. Maybe you could coach from afar. Maybe that's what we'll just have you in a WhatsApp chat.
Just get me in the phone call on the way down. We'll do pairings again on the way.
That'd be wonderful. That'd be lovely.
That's all I need. I will be sad that I don't get to go to the Big Apple though. That's actually made me sad. So
you can come. You can just come over and visit.
No, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
And I'll take you to the Big Apple. You and Johnny will have a good time.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go and look at our event results if you'd like to see these. Very frustratingly, I've made these just not fit on the screen. There we go. Okay, so the first, like we say, we've got a couple of weekends worth of events. We only cover 2-day events and we don't cover team events. Said this before. There's a bunch of reasons. We'll go into it in another video. So you can see that not this weekend just gone, but the weekend before was an incredibly busy weekend for Old World kind of all over, which is exciting. Yeah. So we got our first event, the Forgotten North Old World GT3. It's worth pointing out that all of these events are going to be running slightly different packs.
Yes.
So that is always going to change.
They're going to have some things in common. Most places are basically limiting balloons.
Yes,
that would be the number one thing. So that's good.
Yeah, that's true. So just to show you what was in effect, this regeneration saves may not be taken on the lost or unstable. Cannons must have line of sight to the target, etc., etc. Vampire counts, Mortis engine abilities do not buff. Cathay, 1 balloon. The negative from cannons do not stack. You can only have 1 ring of jet. Ogre loaders are considered part of the cannon crew and die. I don't necessarily agree with that. I quite like the idea of the ogre running around.
It's the best. I think that's fun.
Yeah, that's the decision I made based purely on fun. And the Green Knight cannot charge the turn he appears, which I think is a very reasonable restriction.
Yeah, I think all of those restrictions seem pretty okay by me.
Very okay. So then we go and look at the event results. And this event had 60 people. So it's a big old event. And in first place, we have vampire counts. In fact, you'll also see we got vampire counts again. Wait, hold on. Okay, so it's important to note that on BCP, the way the tournament organizers have tracked this is they have not done win-loss draw as the first breaker, and instead the differential system, which is how many points you beat your opponent by, is their tiebreaker. So as an example, you can see that even though Michael Kubacki in their system did not lose any games, he's in 4th place over, for instance, Jack Ward, who won 3 games, drew a game, and lost a game. But here on at least the stat show, we always do 5 O's and 4 1s. That's our way of tracking information. And also, once you start to read it like that, it kind of looks a little bit different, which is kind of interesting. So that means, but undisputed, Keith Wilkinson with vampire counts. Val, what was in the list?
All right, so we've got, and again, as we noted the restrictions before, there's Vampire Counts does very well, despite actually having some stuff actually tailored against them. So we've got the Master Necromancer, of course, on his Wizard level 4. running Necromancy, the Spell Familiar, Scepter of Denuaro, and a Talisman of Protection. And then we've got a Necromancer, Master Necromancer level 3 on foot, running Dark Magic. Interesting. Spell Familiar, Lore Familiar, Ruby Ring of Ruin. And then a little Necromantic Acolyte, Wizard level 1 with Illusion. Then we have 2 Tomb Banshees, awesome, maximum of 3 Screams, so we're at that now. And then we have a White Lord with Battle Standard Bearer, Charm Shield, and the Helm of Commandment. 25 Graveguard, of course, great weapon, drilled, and full command, and the Drakenhof banner. 2 units of 20 zombies with a Standard Bearer. 2 units of 3 Fellbats, and 2 units, this is the new anti-Cathay tech, Rob, 2 units, 6 Hex Wraiths. In rare there.
Is it because those balloons do not have magical attacks, so it's a way to deal with them?
So yeah, Cathay, especially when they're limiting the Jade Amulet or whatever it is, whatever gives them the magic missile, they're not as good at magical attacks. So yeah, ethereal stuff is better into Cathay, and also you can sort of bomb around, depending on how. I assume they were using Comfac, so in which case you are restricted to how much you can swing a unit around in a line. Because Hex Wraiths, if they pass over something, does a strength 4, strength 4, no armor saves, no regen hit, not automatically wounds. So yeah, they're pretty cool tech, and they can do a lot of stuff if you're cagey with them. Clearly.
Okay, well, well done to Keith. That's good, especially in such a packed field. That was great. Now, the other 5-0 that we had was Michael Kabaki. Sorry if I've said that wrong. And was running Mortuary Cults. So, Mortuary Cults. We got a High Priestess, level 4 wizard on a Bone Dragon with a Staff of the Aeons, Talisman of Protection, Ruby Ring of Ruin, Earth and Rod and Illusion. We had a High Priest who was level 3, on foot again with the Lore Familiar, the Scroll of Withering. Then a Mortuary Priest who was level 2 wizard that was the Standard Bearer on foot with Elementalism. Then 5 Horse Archers, 7 Ushapti with great bows.
Nailed it.
Thank you. Only because I'm about to intentionally do it the other way. 11 Skeleton Skirmishers, 25 Skeleton Warriors, 2 Tomb Scorpions, 5 Ushapti. Did it again. Keeping you guessing, you don't know. And then a Casket of Souls. And again, sorry, there's the Ushbati have got great bows both times. So it's 5 great, it's 12 great bows, and then some good bricks for holding some objectives, and those incredibly correctly pointed Tomb Scorpions.
Tomb Scorpions, everybody. Remember, it's quaint now. Remember when Tomb Scorpions were a big deal? I remember. They're still so good. Glad to see them in the list. That seems like a lot of good things.
Yeah. I mean, so undead dominance is especially in a game where maybe you're trying to do progressive objectives, when you're trying to hold portions of the board, or even just score domination at the end of the game. Those are all pretty impactful. Staying around as long as possible, genuinely good.
Always not dying, very good. You should play undead, Rob.
No, thank you. But
your units never die. They never die.
So going into I think Sam got 4 wins, and I'm going to check this out. I think Sam got 4 wins and a draw, putting him in an incredibly difficult to pronounce section of the board of the brackets. What was Sam running?
Sam's running again Vampire Counts. This time we have a Master Necromancer on foot, was a level 4, with Spell Familiar, Scepter of Denuaro, and Necromancy. Nothing surprising there. And then we've got, and that was the general on foot. And then we have a Master Necromancer, Wizard level 3, Mortis Engine, Lore Familiar, Talisman of Protection, a Power Scroll, Dark Magic once again. Love to know from the Vampire Accounts the sudden change to Dark Magic. This is great. White Lord, we have a White Lord with BSB, Helm of Commandment, Charm Shield, pretty cheap and cheerful. Then we have 2 Tomb Banshees, of course. Can't leave the house without your ladies. And a Necromantic Acolyte. Again, this one has Hand of Dust and Illusion, level 1 wizard. Interesting. So that's these 2 lists. I wonder if they compared notes or developed in a similar fashion. I bet you the rest is going to seem pretty familiar. It will. All right, 28 Graveguard. We got full command drilled. However, we do have the Drakenhof banner. 2 units, 20 zombies. No standard on this one though. And then in rare, we've got 5 Hex Wraiths, and I assume more than that, because scroll down, please.
8 Hex Wraiths.
And 8 Hex Wraiths. There you go. So total of 13. 1 more Hex Wraith here than the winning list. So this is developing into a bit of a template, it seems.
A cookie cutter, you could describe them as. Okay. All right. So then moving into this is just 4 wins and 1 loss. This is Chris Cousins and he's running Cathay, Jade Fleet.
Yes.
So the Army of Infamy. We've
Bit
got
of a cute Cathay list here. Bit of a cute one.
I mean, Chris is a phenomenal player. Has been playing for a very long time. Used to be part of the Dwellers of Below podcast. Is still part of the Dwellers Below podcast, probably.
Really?
Really. So Chris is a very, very old school, but excellent. So he's running a Shigugan Lord and also incredibly smart. Such a fun person to talk to. Level 3 Wizard, Great Spirit Longmarch. So Sword of Reason, Lore Familiar, and the Spell Lore Illusion. Then we've got another Shigugi Lord who's a level 2 Wizard with a Lore Yang, the Monkey King's Wisdom, the Vermilion Quills, and also Illusion. And then we've got another Shigugi Lord. This is a level 1 Wizard. This is the General, General, 155 points. Level 1 Wizard, Lori Yang, the Longma, obviously, and Battle Magic. So are we rocking 4 Shigugi Lords?
3 so far. There's a 4th one, yeah. The 4th one, anything different on them?
Oh, sorry, yes. Level 1 Wizard, Lori Yang, and Battle Magic. So 4 Shigugi Lords.
I remember when we reviewed this, Rob really, really, really loved the Longma and the Shigugan units. And when you are going away from balloons, often you'll see like a big switch up to being very character centric. So yeah, cool.
It's so good. 155 points for a Shigugi is crazy compared to like other units you can get at that price point. So excellent. Shigugi, 18 Jade Warriors, 15 Jade Warriors. You've got the Jade Banner on the 18 Jade Warriors. Then you've got the Icon of Heavenly Fury on the other 15 Jade Warriors. Then 5 Jade Lancers, 1 with a Ring of Jet, and then a cannon, and then the Captain of the Empire on a Demigriff.
Interesting.
With the Charmed Shield.
Interesting. I guess if you got the Shigengans running around on their llamas, you don't really need to put this guy in a griffin, depending on what you're having him do. But yeah, pretty cool.
That's very cool. That's a super cute list. Very fun, very different. It would have been very dynamic as well. A lot of abilities to move into loads of sections of the boards. Be like, because it's so fast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So fast. Okay, and then our last list, which is again in the 4-1 section, is Jack Toll.
Jack Toll. So he's running Bretonian Exiles, and here we go. We got a Baron at 315 points with the Exiles Val, and Gromroll Great Helm, Frontier Axe, Charm Shield, Virtue of Knightly Temper.
Woo.
And then look at this. The Green Knight made an appearance, even though he can't charge out of reserve. That's great.
He's fine.
He's still doing good. And then we have a Paladin. With Heavy Armor Shield, Exile's Vow, Battle Standard Bearer with the Banner of the Lady's Grace, Bard of Pegasus, a Spell Eater Axe, MR, sweet. And then we have an Outcast Wizard, Wizard level 3, with Lore Familiar, Power Scroll, running Dark Magic again.
Ooh.
Dark Magic. So hot right now. I was, so this is because I'm a big loser. I'm hung up on this Dark Magic thing because I've looked at Dark Magic many times, and then I've always come away from it thinking, maybe not. So perhaps there's something people are keying off of that escaped old Val's big old mind trap.
Very Luke Skywalker of you. No dark side for you.
25 Yeoman Guard. We've got, we got the Grail Monk, we got the Wardens, we got the Double Champion, full command otherwise there as well. 12 Peasant Bowmen. They're just skirmishers, 12 peasant bowmen as skirmishers, 5 Knights of the Realm on foot, hand weapons and shields, another 12 peasant bowmen as skirmishers, and 7 mounted yeomen. And then we've got, of course, 5 Pegasus Knights, lance shields, heavy armor, and looks like full command except for a musician. And then 2 of the finest cannons in all of the game, the Border Princess Bombard. Each for 100 smackaroos.
We love them. So as an event, we've ended up with quite a diverse meta, realistically. Although all of the big names are at the top, as in armies. Vampire Counts, Tomb Kings, Cathay, and Bretonia, all in that very scary, very aggressive section.
Yep, and this was a non-Renegades event too. I don't think if we shouted that out at all. So that that does factor onto how the vampire counts perform a little bit. Although their restrictions are kind of the major, I guess, nerfs to the vampire counts in Renegades, which would be like not stacking the Mortis engine is a big one. So yeah, it seemed like Vamps did a really good job. I'm assuming they must have had a lot of, like, when they were running the missions, I assume they ran a lot of the secondaries, because that does, again, favor armies that can hold the table and stick around. And in both the Cathay and the Bretonnian army, you do see a lot of like action monkey style units being brought here with specific pieces selected for dealing damage and causing problems for the enemy.
Also, like, we are a little bit of time away from the match play guide. Like, we're 5 months out now, but it takes a little while to build and produce a bunch of armies and units that are going to be able to utilize and best exploit the new match play guide missions realistically. Like, and obviously very early on, people were like, oh, we think Undead's going to be very good. That has generally turned out to be very true, but it still takes time to see that actually take place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Cathay's been the headliner, but I think behind that is certainly Undead, very, very good, which we see in Square Base Comp for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so it's the California Cup. We've been talking about. I've been talking about it on the show for quite a long time. This is an event that I co-ran with Green Banner Event Company out in California, who are working very hard to build up a good series of events for Old World. And this is their big sort of end of the year event. It was a massive 40K event. And the only other thing represented there that I know of was Old World. And we had, I think coming into the event, I think we had something like just a little over 30 tickets sold, around 32 sold, 28 showed up, and then 24 remained at the end of the final round on Sunday. It was really, really cool. Around a month and a half ago, I guess, whenever we dropped the Square-based comp, I threw it out to the people who had signed up at that point if they wanted to play it. They didn't seem to enthusiastically say no, so we brought it out, and that doubled tickets, actually.
Wow.
So we went from kind of a middling amount of ticket sales to just over 30 in a couple of weeks, basically all at the last seconds by adding the Square-based comp. I don't know if those two things are related. Maybe Californians just wait too long to buy their tickets. I don't know, but there's some correlation there, if not causation. The other big impact of the Square-based comp was, of all of the A-tier armies, which, if you do not know it off the back of your head, I believe are essentially Tomb Kings, Vampire Counts,
Bretonnia.
Cathay, not Bretonnia, maybe Bretonnia. Bretonia's still in there. Anyway, and then also one of the Beastmen arcane armies of infamy, perhaps. Anyway, only one army showed up from the A tier. Everything else was drawn from the B, C, and D tier. We also, for the purposes of this event, bumped High Elves and their armies of infamy up into, except for Seaguard, of course, up into the B tier as opposed to C tier. And that's kind of the background. We ran match play guide missions, and we used the differential from the TSN. All of that, by the way, is now available to be used on Best Coast Pairing. So if you are running a Square-based comp event, you can use those things on BCP. There's an actual scorecard you can use to make life really easy for you. And then we get our winners, or the people who had the undefeated. I guess we have one undefeated, 2 and 1s, and some really great fun armies here.
What's interesting about this straight off the bat, looking at it, is obviously like this is not Vampire Counts, Tomb Kings, right? Like, so it reads quite different, which is quite interesting. Dwarven Mountain holds Skaven, Beastmen, Brayherds. Okay.
Yeah. And I would also say the level of hobby, by the way, on these, Leo Carson won our best overall. I think also won our best judge painting as well, from what I recall. Kristen, she finished really, really high up. She got like a runner-up for painted. Greg's army was fantastic, absolutely gorgeous. It's actually Slayer cults, by the way, guys. Spoilers. I got to talk to BSP about getting the more recent factions added. But Like these and like actually even Jonathan's army is gorgeous. Eric's army was gorgeous. It was wild. The level of hobby out there was incredible. I've actually got a ton of really awesome footage of this, so I maybe we'll do a personal battle report and intersperse it with just how gorgeous a lot of this stuff was, because I think they deserve to be noted for their beauty and design.
Good. So you got so Skaven, Beastman, Brayhoods. Do you want to take me through Greg's list? Because you also played against Greg, right?
I played Greg, in fact, and so this is a Slayer host in D tier. So they are getting an extra 600 points. And one thing about that with Slayers is then it becomes a very mathy game. Math that I was woefully ignorant of coming into it. So I definitely vibed it, and it didn't work out for me. It was close, though. It was fun. Essentially, this list is going to be full send, and his goal is to get his guys to die in glorious combat with you. And your goal is to kill the stuff you can get points for and then run away. So that's
and not kill the other stuff, because the stuff doesn't give up kill points, right?
That's right.
So interesting, exactly the same weekend you were playing against this. The event we're about to cover later is Toby played at mine with all the Slayers, and was very much doing a unoptimized full send it list. In the same kind of vein. And I think that this list can be one of those lists that feels like it can be incredibly challenging mentally to play against, or if the guy is genuinely just throwing everything at you, just like hell in a handbasket. It's like a grenade in a storm, right? It's wild.
Yes, and it's a bunch of naked dwarves running at you, so you can't be that mad. For example, Greg was also a lot of fun play against. I didn't hear any complaints. Most people who got matched into this were like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? So you'll see why. Let's go over it. If you haven't seen this archetype yet of the Slayer host, because I've seen it at 2,000 points, 2,200 points, it all works in a similar fashion. So here we go. We got the Dragon Slayer as the first character. And obviously great weapon, battle standard bearer, master rune of Astronomy Redbeard, and the Stroller's rune, and rune of battle. Master rune of breaking, rune of the dishonored. So that's key there. The rune of the dishonored means that if this guy doesn't die, then the opponent gets the 300 points for it. So it's important not to kill this guy, but he's also an important piece. So it's hard not to kill him. Anyway, moving on, we got a regular old Dragon Slayer times 3 with hand weapons. And then we have a Demon Slayer at 274 points with the Master Rune of Alaric the Mad, 2 runes of strikings, Rune of the Dishonored, and Rune of Wrath. So again, that one is an expensive one. Then we got a big old 4 brick of 35 Slayers, and then a ambushing unit of 7 Slayers who are arrayed as skirmishers, as the Slayer host is allowed to do. And now beginneth the Doom Seekers. So we've got a Doom Seeker. Some of them have some things, and most of them are the same. So we've got 1 Doom Seeker, the Master Rune of Swiftness, Rune of Cleaving, Warrior's Rune, and the Rune of the Hateful. And then we have a Doom Seeker with Scouts, 2 runes of Cleaving, Rune of Striking, Rune of the Reckless, Rune of Endless Battle, and the Warrior's Rune. And then we have 1, 2, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
15, 16, 17, 18.
17, 18, 19.
18 or 19.
18 or 19, probably close to the max that you can take. And then, of course, these guys need to have a few drinks to get riled up. They got a Bugman's cart to help them move around. So this list, again, basically all of those Doom Seekers, and then the characters are called out with the what is it? The Rune of Dishonored. All of those things, if they don't die, score points for your opponents. If they do die, I guess it's basically the reverse of the usual. So the only things you can get points off of in here are the 35 Slayers, by killing, are the 35 Slayers, the 7 ambushing Slayers, a couple of the characters, the Dragon Slayer characters, and the Bugman card. Outside of that, you don't want to kill anything, and they're coming at you hot and fast.
This is about 600 to 800 points. I think it's about 800 points ish. That, like, if you kill out their whole army, you're only getting 800 points worth of stuff, and actually less points because they're in a certain tier that's going to like reduce down, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, very fascinating.
that's so like the I guess the grand strategy, if you ever are confronted with Slayers, is figuring out what are the units that you can kill and get points for, kill those guys, and then run away. One thing that I think this list maybe has that future lists could have that would make it a little bit more even harder to beat is if they had more core things that could hang out on the table and grab objectives. Because if you're running away, you're not necessarily scoring secondaries. So even if your opponent does so it could be very easy to, not easy, but possible where you can win the secondary. Even if your opponent runs away, all your stuff lives and you give up all those points for the Slayers that didn't die. You could potentially still win on secondaries because your opponent had to run away.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw domination be like pretty harsh into this list as a secondary. Like it basically always gave it up because everything has to basically die in order for this thing to work. So domination basically just tipped it so that it was impossible. If domination was in play, basically impossible for the Slayer guy to win in many ways. But again, like you say, and like you said, because we had a chat about this off air, it's a bit of a math conversation as you get into it, and you're like, okay, but if domination is in play, I feel like it's already kind of, domination plus you kill the right stuff and you move away a little bit, I think you're in a good spot. But it's a weird situation to be running away from naked dwarfs, right?
Yes, it is. It is a strange scenario, but it is fun. And it's, and again, like you can just play this ignorant of all that kind of stuff and have a good old time, fighting a bunch of naked dwarves and see how it goes. However, I suspect I know there are at least a few opponents who did try to do the math and beat Greg, and they did not succeed. I think the final opponent he had probably had the best grip of it and got a draw out of it. I think the biggest thing here is that with the kill point modifier, it just makes the points you like when he does get the Slayer to die, it makes those points or even the things that you kill, it just makes it that much harder math wise for you to pull it off. Especially since he's killing stuff too, right? Like these guys are good in combat. They're not pushovers. So yeah.
That's true. It's true. Very cool. It's nice to see that it's had that impact. I think this is also an incredibly unique list, and I love that we've seen it both in America and also in England kind of simultaneously. I think that's quite fun, like emergence of this.
People were like, the second the Slayers list dropped, and I think people were like, wait a minute, how many Doomseekers can I get? Even comped or not comped, immediately Slayer lists started appearing, led by a couple people, even at Squarebase Open Toronto in October. Like that's literally a week later, people were running a Slayer list because they were thirsty for it. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we've got Leo. Leo is running a list called Punk Rock Rats, the Anarchist Collective. Sorry, if people who don't know, one of the things that is a big deal in at least the AOS Stat Center is people like to name their lists, and I have made it, as long as it's not something offensive, I will always read the name out, which has caused me some real issues. So anyway, the Anarchist Collective, eking out an existence in the sewers of Castle Corone, is notorious for the chart-topping singles God Screech the King, much to the annoyance of the nobility, human peasants, and even the occasional orc, often found at their shows. That is Leo's list. Thank you, Leo. Was running a Renegade Skaven list with 10 drops. So we did mention Renegade was in play at the event. Match Play Guide was in play at the event. Any restrictions?
Yeah. So this was Squarebase comp. So the only additional restriction over the army layout was just balloons. So balloons were restricted. That was it.
Perfect.
But no Cathay showed up. So what can you do?
Then we've got a Gracie level 3 with Wizard that's with Demonology, with D3 +1 Warp Stones, 2 Power Scrolls, and all familiar. So that guy wants to die. That's his job. He wants to cast spells and blow up. He's ready. Then we've got another Gracie. That one's the General. That's a level 4 Battle Magic General with D3 Warp Stones and the Ruby Ring of Ruin. Then a Warlock Engineer with D3 Warp Stone tokens and Storm Demon. It's a level 1 Wizard with Battle Magic. A Skaven Warlord with Heavy Armor, Shield, and Halberd with Skaven Brute and a Shadow Magnet. Then a Skaven Warlord with Heavy Armor, Shield, Ogre Blade, and Paymaster's Coin. Skaven Chieftain, who's a BSB with the Verminous Scurrying banner, and then the Heavy Armor, Shield, Halberd with Skaven Brew. Then a Skaven Chieftain, a Master Assassin with the Dragon Slaying Sword. That's incredible. I love that. Is the weapon more than the character in that situation?
Getting close, right? Is that a 70-point weapon? No, I think the Slayer Sword is 50 points. So
yeah,
no,
okay. It's getting close, though.
Yeah, it's 50 points, I think.
Then we've got 36 Storm Vermin, which is a 500-point unit, by the way. Very expensive. With shields, full command, war banner, and a rattling gun. Then 36 Clan Rats with a rattling gun, full command. Then 12 Night Runners with throwing weapons. 11 Giant Rats, 11 Giant Rats, 11 Giant Rats. Shout out to the Skaven players and their Giant Rat community. I know they love them. Then
big on the Giant Rats.
Yeah. Then 2 lots of 3 Warp Lock Jezzails. And then for rare units, we've got 2 Warp Lightning Cannons as well. Wow, that is, I mean, it's incredibly hero heavy, this Skaven list, right?
Yeah, I mean, often you're piling a ton of those guys into those bricks of core troops and just saying, can you kill these guys? And that seems to be an effective archetype for Skaven right now. I guess very similar to how Undead dominates, and that's in comped, uncomped. You are starting to see, because of I think the match play guide. You are starting to see Skaven being able to just put a lot of cheap-ish and quality bodies. Also, the I can never remember their name, but the elite infantry. What are those?
Storm Vermin.
Storm Vermin. They're not so bad in a world where they have parry.
Yeah, they got heavy armor.
I believe they have heavy armor.
Wow, so that's a 3-up save on an objective if they get charged. That's solid.
They very well might, charged or not charged. They just get to swing more if they get charged. So, yeah, I think the Storm Vermin and the Clan Rats and lots of characters in them, and then other stuff running around. It's a way forward. It's a way for Skaven to work.
Fantastic. Okay, great. And then do you want to take us through Kristen's list?
Yeah. So shout out Kristen. I played Kristen also in we did a Friday foray. So that was actually a really great thing. Great warm-up event on the Friday. She was running Beastman in that. And my Brick of Night Goblins ran away on the first turn. It was awesome. Due to a miscast of all things. Great. But that's neither here nor there, because we're talking about Kristen's glorious run here at the event. What was she wound up 1 loss?
4 wins and a loss.
All right, so took the points on this one. So 2,200 points available for Beastman Grand Army. We got a great Bray Shaman with the Bray Staff Wizard level 3. This is the general on a Tuskor Chariot, Power Scroll, full plate of Chaos Armor, Healing Potion, and Elementalism.
Nice.
And then we've got another great Bray Shaman, Bray Staff, Wizard level 3, Tuskor Chariot, Hag Tree Fetish, Talisman of Protection, 2 Power Scrolls, Elementalism. And then we got another Bray Shaman, Bray Staff, Wizard level 1 on foot with the Chalice of Dark Ruin, Pelt of Midnight, and Daemonology. And then another Bray Shaman with the Bray Staff, Wizard level 1 on foot, 2 Power Scrolls, Demonology. Whoa. So I wonder what old Kristen's doing with all those casters.
They're putting him near a headstone and casting as many spells as possible.
Yes, or and specifically probably Viletide doing a lot of lifting in this one, I would suspect. But we're going over to core units. We got 22 Gores with additional hand weapons, a Truehorn with a great weapon, the Standard Bearer and Musician, so full command. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 solo Razor Gore herds, which are just awesome. That's a great little unit to throw in there. Just a Tuskor Chariot. For 85 points, another great unit. 11 Ungors with short bows and ambushers. Fantastic. You can just hide them. And then, of course, there's our friend, the Herdstone, at 100 points. In special, we've got another Razorgore Chariot, 2 solo Dragon Ogres who are Shartex with halberds. Not great weapons. Interesting little call there. And then finally, we got in rare, Rob's favorite, 2 gigantic Spawn of Chaos. And they're, of course, Spawns of Nurgle. And they're a real handful and tough to deal with too.
The design methodology of this list is really interesting. Like it's one of the things I've been talking about a lot in AOS as well. But like it's got a lot of like activation points, right? It's a multiple small unit build, or it's got multiple small units. Obviously, it's got a lot of its power focused around its casters, but it's got the ability to like have a ton. It's like, oh, do you want to charge? Cool, you get 1 guy. Did you overrun? You get 1 guy. Like it's able to really slowly, like a trench system, give up little small bits. But it's also got like, you've got like a double charge here. We've got, it leaves a lot of options open for you to actually slam the chariots in when you want to. I think that's pretty cool. Even, you see it even move down. And you've got the super tough gigantic spawn. So if they do hit that roadblock, you're in another roadblock. So pretty interesting design, like choices.
Yeah. and looked really great on the table too. Hats off, commendable performance from Kristen.
Fantastic. Did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a blast. Really, really good time. Also got a lot of the. I got to meet Andy Garcia from Monster Slayer Productions, who are the guys who run all the frontline gaming events. So they run the LVO, they run BAO, they used to run SoCal. I don't think it exists anymore. Really, really cool community organizers there. Big shout out to those guys who came down and supported from San Francisco. And then also, like, Kristen was from Reno, which is a place people can come from. I thought it was just something in cartoons, which is cool. There were folks from all over sort of the region that actually did come out. And you can tell, like, I don't know, there were a lot of folks in that room who clearly were going to go back and find ways to get people playing where they live, and I think that's really the key here. It's like these sort of keystone events hopefully create that idea of community and something to show up to. So I'm not sure if I'll make it back next year. I would really love to and see how it grows. But Green Banner is also going to be doing a lot more Old World events in the next year. And really excited to talk about those when we find out about them.
It looks like a great event. Well done to the organizers. Also great to see SBC. I mean, like, whether or not Slayers need to maybe come down a bracket, or maybe there needs to be an additional restriction on Slayers so they can kind of maintain where they are in the bracket, but maybe playing against so many of the same unit, which I think aesthetically, as you've said many times, people don't love. Whatever the kind of... Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like it's fun. But as I've said before,
I do too.
One person's theme is another person's spam, right?
And I would say that a founding principle of square-based comp that we discussed is that that's not our decision to make. We're just trying to give everyone a fair shake at a fun game. And if you want as many naked dwarves as you can cram in there, I think the opportunity for that in square-based comp is on purpose. And there are other ones out there that are a little bit more prudish on the topic, such as German comp, Aussie comp. There's lots of cool prepackaged things you can look at. I think square-based comp is doing its job in the events that we've seen so far. It definitely seems to be having the impact we're looking for, and namely enthusiasm and a different meta, like different games to be played, right? Yeah. Like my last game, for example, I played into the Army of Infamy from Wood Elves.
Fantastic. Thousand Toast.
Yes. And they ran so many trees, like just a hilarious amount of trees. Everything was ambushing. And, even with 600 points, I didn't think to myself, this feels unfair, Yeah. But I did think to myself, holy hell, that's cool. And you can look at the Wood Elf before. There are a lot of people trying to make Wood Elves go at this event. And even with 600 points, weren't necessarily doing it. Now, were they the degenerates that you might find in the UK who optimized to the nines to get all the juice they possibly could squeeze out of Wood Elves? Maybe not. But, they were having a lot of fun. And I think that's what matters. And if someone did super optimize and squeezed all the juice they could out of Wood Elves, great, go for it.
Hey, I need everyone to know.
Like I'm all for it.
Yeah, I need everyone to know that if Slayers and High Elves ever under SBC eventually reach the heights of the amount of tournaments won by Vampire Counts, Bretts, or Cathay, any of those, then we can have a discussion about maybe it's too much. But anyway, I'm glad you had a good time, buddy.
But my issue with the Slayers is more mechanically how they work and how it makes for a not necessarily great game for that reason mostly. And having more points favors that. But anyway, it was great, and thanks for listening to the event recap because it was great.
So our next event is going to take us to Christchurch in New Zealand, obviously. This is Conquest 2025, and this has got 16 players that were battling it out. If we just take a quick moment to look at the pack, which is beautiful, by the way. Shout out to the tournament organizers. I'm trying to find out their names. I don't know what their names are, but shout out to the tournament organizers. I hope you do get to watch this video. They've pointed out that a Renegade pack will be in effect. The official Games Workshop FAQ always takes precedence. Then they've also covered the community pack, the Renegade pack. There's all links in there. They've made an additional restriction on the Green Knight not being able to charge on the way it comes in, and also how many points it's worth when it gets killed for the first time. And then also they've got the Cathayan cannon has also been FAQ'd so that its shooting attack doesn't stack, which is super nice. So with all that said, if we go back and look at the event results, we can see that we've got 2 4-1s out of this list, which is the Jade Fleet for Cathay and Orc and Goblin tribes.
All right.
Do you want to take me through the Jade? Oh no, I'll read Cathay, so you get to read Orcs and Goblins.
Sure.
That's for you. That's me being
well.
Nice.
That's very kind of you. And also, did we say 2,400 points? Obviously, that's so it's a big format.
Yes, sorry, I should have said that. 2,400 points. Jade Fleet. This is shout out to Mark Andrew for doing so well. Mark Andrew was running Miao Ying, obviously with everything Miao Ying has with Battle Magic. Then a Shigugi Lord, that's a level 3 wizard with the Vermilion Quills, the Monkey King's Talisman, and Law of Illusion. Then a Gatekeeper, that's the Battle Standard Bearer with the Jade Armor of Boucher. This is just on foot. And then 19 Jade Warriors, one with the Jade, they've got the Jade Banner and a full command. Then 5 Jade Lancers. The Jade Officer has the Fires of Nangao plus the Ring of Jet, and the standard of the icon of the Heavenly Fury with a full command. Then Jade Lancers with, again, the same loadout on the Jade Lancer Officer, but a Charm Shield as well. I think I've got that right, yes. And then 1 cannon, 1 rocket battery, I live and I breathe, a lantern, and a sentinel, which is close, although it's very difficult to do this in very, very difficult to do this in Cathay. This is close to a Highlander list where you do not repeat a unit twice.
Yes.
There's only double Jade Lancers. That's the only thing that's replicated.
And in a lot of Highlanders, you are allowed to duplicate your core. So yes. And one wonders, although this could also be the old battalion box plus that like just basically, sort of the grab bag of all the like one of each of the original kits and makes this army, which is pretty dope actually.
That is great. I like this list a lot. And also, if you've never heard that term before, one of the really great ways to nerf yourself, if you're someone who's new and I'd like to play at the local club or I'd like to play an event, running a Highlander list is normally a great way of doing that. So it's multiple units. It takes a lot of mental load, can be quite stressful because you've got lots of units, lots of different stats, lots of things that are happening. But it's a nice way of making it so you're like, oh look, I've got one of everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great format too, because the armies wind up looking really nice like this, right? You get variety, and that makes them look a lot more like the ones you'd see, arrayed in a White Dwarf or in a army book or whatever.
The bit that super upsets me is when I deploy, I'm like, well, I need it to be symmetrical. I've got a cannon on this side, a cannon on that side.
I had in my Cali Cup list, I had 3 units of Night Goblins and 1 unit of Black Orcs, and it was killing me. It was killing me.
This isn't symmetrical. How do I live?
What am I? I either need 1 less Night Goblin or 1 more Night Goblin to make this work. This is bullshit. Anyway, thank you for seeing me there, because man, did I struggle. All right.
Then Francis McDonald is our other 4-1.
Okay, let me pull this up with old Francis McDonald.
McDonald, yeah.
All right, Francis. We got a Black Orc War Boss on Wyvern with the Choppiest Choppa and the Talisman of Protection. So decided to not go with the full, what's the word? Full turtle. Full. What do you call something that's really defensible?
Turtle. Yeah, you're right.
No, it's not turtle.
Yeah.
God damn it. Night Goblin Big Boss with Light Armor, Battle Standard, Walpa's One-Hit Wonder, Charm Shield, and the Paymaster's Coin. Cool. Oh, so you can re-roll that Walpa's One-Hit Wonder when you do use it. Then we got a Night Goblin Oddgit, level 1 Wizard with Wild Magic. We got a Night Goblin Odd Knob, Wizard level 4, Wild Magic, Staff of Badoom, which gives pluses to cast with sometimes negative results. Then we got a Night Goblin War Boss, Great Weapon, Light Armor, and Shield. We got an Orc Weird Knob, Wizard level 3, Wild Magic, Idol of Gork. And then we got 13 Black Orcs with Stubborn. And then the mix that they went with was, well, you'll have to look at it here. I guess mostly, they got full command. And then they've got 5 great weapons and the rest with shields. I guess so. And then we got 30 Night Goblins, 3 Fanatics, Standard Bearer, big red raggedy flag on that unit with the Musician. Actually, this is fully loaded, guys. We got Thrusting Spears, Shields, Netters, the Standard Bearers, the Musician, the Boss. That is like fully featured. And then we got 25 Squig Herds, everybody. They still exist. That's great. 18 Cave Squigs and 7 Herders. And then we got 30 just Orc Boys with Warbows. light armor shield, a boss with standard bearer, and a spider banner to give him. Actually, if you read it raw, old poison, but you don't read it raw. And then we've got two. And then we got a goblin wolf chariot. We've got a unit of squig hoppers. We've got an orc boar chariot. We got a unit of snotling pump wagons. Rob, I'm suspecting this is a Highlander event. Doom diver catapult and mangler squigs.
I am also suspecting this is a Highlander event. Hold on, we have this beautiful pack. Is it going to tell us?
Yeah,
armies. This tournament is intended to be a fairly competitive event. The players are encouraged to bring strong armies to compete for the top spots. However, we also encourage players to ensure their opponents have a good time and consider this. All lists. This army list will be 2,400 points. Army list must be used, including available mercenaries. The following additions: no more than 1,000 points per on characters. No individual unit or character may more than 500 points.
MPG stuff.
It's just all MPG stuff. This is self-comp.
This is brilliant. All right. Well, the two winners are winners in my book, however you count them, because those were fun, both fun. They were high, like. That is a Highlander list, right?
Yeah, it's at least very close to it.
Well, yeah, very close to it. Anyway, there could only be one.
Yeah.
The reference for Highlander. So that's our folks from way down under.
Our next event is our first event from China, and this is always a point of celebration that we have for the AOS stat show, where we put like a little pin in the map, and we're like, yeah, we got China now, Bolivia next. So shout out. So this is the Guangzhou Old World event, organized by Grant Webster. So thanks to Grant for being a great member of your community and building that up. It was a 1,500 point tournament to allow people to just enter into the game and build and paint stuff, and then future events will be 2,000 points. Which is super cool. And if you're wondering, it's not too far away from Hong Kong.
There you go. Still mainland China, though. We're still in China.
Yeah. We're right there. So yeah, mainland China is where we are. And then if we take a look at the actual placings, we can see we got 150 and 141 with Beastman Brayherds and I quiver Chaos Dwarves in the 4-1 section. So,
and not only that, Rob, Renegade Chaos Dwarfs. Renegades have come to China. They've made it to China.
New Zealand and China are using Renegades right now. That's great. Okay.
Pretty sweet.
Do you want to take us through Bernard Mayer's winning Beastman list?
I absolutely would, because you got to get the Chaos Dwarves.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go. That's for me to use. So we've got Beastman Brayherds. We got a Bray Shaman, Wizard level 1 Elementalism, the Chalice of Dark Ruin. And then we have a Gorbull. Yes. Shield, Gnarled Hide, Gouged Tusks, Scimitar of Skulltar, the Blackened Plate. And then we have another great Bray, and then we have a great Bray Shaman, who is the General, Wizard level 3 Elementalism, Hag Tree Fetish, Ruby Ring of Ruin. We've got 10 Gores with hand weapons, ambushers, and a True Horn. We've got 21 Gores with an additional hand weapon, True Horn, so full command, War Banner, and I can't see the last thing.
Musician.
And a musician, of course. And then we've got a solo Razor Gore, 16 Ungor with a musician and short bows, and then 18 Ungor with a short bow and ambushers. Then we got 2 Dragon Ogres with great weapons and shark attacks, 5 Harpies, a Herdstone, and 1 gigantic spawn of chaos.
But not
gigantic spawn of corn. He's corn chaos.
Corn chaos. Yeah, yes, but chaos is corn is chaos, right? Chaos corn.
Chorus. Sweet.
Very fun. At 1,500 points, I imagine that Gorbull doing some great work at that level, which is super fun. Herdstone still makes it. Very cute.
Of course, well, 100 points. Come on.
Taking a look at Javier's list, he is running Renegades pack, Chaos Dwarfs. We see a Demon Smith Sorcerer, level 2 with Demonology. Then we've got Hobgoblin Khan with great weapons, short bow, shield, light armor, giant wolf, ruby ring of ruin. 2 lots of 25 Hobgoblin Cutthroats with shields, light armor, and full command. Then 18 Infernal Guard with Hellshot Blunderbusses. They've got shields, they're drilled, they've got a death mass, or they've got a full command. And then we've also got the Overseer's Sigil. Then 3 Bull Centaur Renders with great weapons, and also a champion and standard bearer. And then we have a Death Streaker rocket launcher, an Iron Demon, which is going to be very difficult to deal with at 1,500 points. And then 5, I mean, it's difficult to deal with at any point value, 5 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders so the Khan can run around in it. So you've got 2 25 Hobgoblin units, a big unit of Blunderbusses that have got the Demon Smith inside of it, some Bull Centaurs for a little bit of pace, and then you've got a Death Shrieker and an Iron Demon to keep them honest and push the tempo. It's a very cool list.
That's a handful, and also fits a lot of stuff in there. It's pretty impressive, actually. Well done. Nice little round of list building from Javier.
Yeah, that's super cool. And also, shout out to the Chinese community. Great to have you along for the ride. That adds another one into the mix. It's very fun to think that there were all these places playing Old World at the same time. So we love that. I hope we see bigger and better events from all these communities in the future.
On the nose, did they have any Cathay at the event?
That's a great question. And the answer is, let's have a look. I do not think so.
Looks like Games Workshop's grand strategy fail.
Our next event, it takes us to sunny Nottingham, in England, where I ran a 2,600 point event. We weren't using SBC because I put all my events up online ahead of time. So the next 6 months of events for Old World are out already. Somewhere. Which is cool. But we have been running, or I have been running a ton of 2,600 points events and a ton of 2,000 point events, mainly to see what points value. I think we started the year off with the Old World 3,000 point event. And I genuinely believe Old World should be a slightly higher points value that we're playing at. I think SBC kind of covers that with the margin that you're playing between 22 and 200 and 2,400. So this was the last of my 2,600 point events. Super exciting. We had 10 people battling it out to kind of round us off. But I'd also like to point out, having run 5 of these 2,600 point events, time is not really an issue. I just wanted to be really clear about that. I see people be able to complete these. So when people bring up SBC, it's like, no one will finish a game. And I'm like, I haven't seen that be an issue.
So I believe you. I believe you, Rob. But I would also say that time was a bit of a challenge for Cali Cup and Squarebase Open Toronto, even at 2,200 points. So I don't know if maybe I don't know what's causing that difference, because I believe you, and I tend to believe more. So I tend to be more on the side of more points doesn't make that big of a difference. I'd be curious to know if those folks are still struggling at 2,000 points to finish.
Yeah. I would say so. I don't have any. I don't think the game is slow. I have players that are slow, and that's okay. That's okay. When people are slow, I always say they just want the most for their money. That's what they want. They want all 3 hours. So,
I just don't know where the time goes, man. I don't know where it goes. Probably goes into a lot of. That's where my time goes. Anyway, continuing. Where do I put these black orcs? It's asymmetrical. I can't put them on the left or the right.
Oh, so you're running a narrative list. That's how that works.
Yes, of course.
So we had no 5-0s, no 4-1s, but I think it's worth shouting out at least like the 2-3-2s, because it was a smaller field, so everyone was kind of playing each other. Because you got some really solid players in here. Like Ian was playing as well. Toby was running a silly Fire Slayer list, which was great. But Michael took the event out, also won best overall with Beastman Bray Herds, and he was just running the classic like spell spam, and he was running a Doom Ball with the Armor of Meteoric Eye and Talisman Protection, Scimitar of Skultar, a Paymaster's Coin, and it was a muscular monstrosity. Then there was a War Gore with heavy armor that was the BSB with the Beast Banner, the Pelt of the Dark Young, and the Slug Skin. Then another Great Bray Shaman, level 4 wizard with 2 Power Scrolls, Lore Familiar, Demonology, a Bray Shaman that was level 2 with Elementalism, the Hag Tree Fetish, and a Power Scroll. Then another Bray Shaman that had the Jagged Dagger, Ruby Ring of Ruin, Elementalism. Then a Bray Shaman with a chalice that was level 1 with Elementalism, Chalice of Dark Rain. Then 36 Gore Horde, 13 Ungor, 13 Gore, 3 Razor Gore, and then 4 Dragon Ogres and 2 Gigantic Spawn of Nurgle. So you get a lot of units in 2,600 points. Like, you get a lot of stuff.
Yep. You get a lot of... Yes.
You got a lot of stuff. So Michael was great. He got loads of sports votes. Like I said, he won best overall. It was fantastic. Then Rebecca was running the Host of Towels in at 2,600 points. And I know she's super excited about everyone else getting less points in the future, and then her maintaining the 2,600 points. So we got a Glade Lord on a dragon with the Talisman of Protection, Crown of Antlers, and the Annoyance of Netlings as the first Sona. Then a Branch Wraith that was level 1 wizard with battle magic. A Tree Man Ancient that was a level 3 with ambushers and the Law of the Wild. There it is. And then a Branch Wraith that was battle magic and a light level 1 wizard. Then a Tree Man Ancient with the Law of the Wilds, a level 3 wizard. Then 5 Eternal Guard, 19 Dryads, 20 Dryads, 20 Dryads, and then 2 Tree Men.
Heck yeah, Ambush and Tree Men. This is like the type of list I ran into, but not even like they didn't even bring a dragon. So Rebecca tried even harder than that. But like, man, did I have fun playing into that list. So awesome. They also didn't have Dryads.
The Dryads were amazing. It seemed like so many Dryads on the board, a lot of board presence, and they seemed to have a really good time. And it held stuff up so you could obviously charge in with some of the other bigger pieces. So a fun time. No 5-0s, no 4-1s. And the next event I'm personally doing is sold out at 26 people. So that's a full house here at the TSN Arena. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And that's the SBC.
That's the SBC. So it's a big sold out event, which is cool. But yeah, it was nice to round this off. And a special shout out to Ian, who got me a really lovely trophy for running events all year. So that was quite sweet of him. So I want to say thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, it was very sweet. So thanks. Our next event takes us back to the USA for BolterCon. The Old World tournament. This was organized by Bolters at Dawn, but also Chilo Edwards. Shout out to Chilo. Thanks for being a great member of your community. This is in Ohio. Am I making that up? I don't think I am. Ohio. So there are gaming events around that region. So if you can get there, get there. And we've only got 150, and that's Ryan Boaz with vampire counts. Take me through it, buddy.
Looky. Another Renegades event running vampire counts this time. So still doing good with the vampire counts. We've got a Master Necromancer, Wizard level 4, Scepter of Denuaro, Cloak of Mists of Shadows. So that means it's ethereal and being spooky and running around all over the place. Then we've got a Necromantic Acolyte, Wizard level 2 on Necromancy. We've got a Vampire Count. Oh, yeah. So this is taking advantage of the Renegade options to give him full plate armor, and then Master of the Black Arts, General on an Abyssal Terror, Wizard level 2, Illusion, Sword of Kings, Talisman of Protection, and then we've got a White Lord, Great Weapon, Battle Standard Bearer, Charm Shield, Helm of Commandment, 3 units of 5 Dire Wolves, 19 Graveguard with Shield and full command Drakenhof Banner. 3 units of 20 zombies. 2 of them have a standard bearer, 6 blood knights, full plate armor, drilled standard bearer, and a terror geist. And you just can't go wrong with vampire counts.
Terror geist, you can't. It seems.
So good.
Well done to Ryan. Shout out to everyone in Ohio. Hope you had a great time. Let's go look at the next event.
2-day battle march. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So the next event is not a like 2,000 point MPG event or something similar, but is instead a 500 point Battle March event, which is Games Workshop's kind of version of 4A, which is our 500 point version of event, organized by Richard Fezenbeck in Carrollton, Texas, at importantly the Texas Toy Soldier gaming store. So if you are anywhere near Carrollton, Texas, and you want to get some Old World in, looks like they started up a 500 point kind of league, which is pretty nice.
Or just getting 500 point games in, and can't say enough about them. They are really good. I'm using them for like my little 40K friend group that I still text with for some reason. Getting a little Old World curious in that chat. Guess what they're playing? They're going to be playing some 4A with old Val at the casita. So yeah, it's a great way to get people involved.
Oh boy. Our next event takes us to Sweden for the Fantasia Fanatic, the Old World event with 24 people, which is pretty fantastic because I'm almost certain Fantasia's in Umeå in Sweden. So it's northern Sweden, which is very far away. Yeah, Umeå, there we go. So it's very far away from kind of the capital. So lots of...
It's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. It's cold. There is some additional restrictions on this event. It's the only event I could see from this weekend. So we ended up with 24 people from this event this weekend, organized by Fantasia. And this is a really big yearly con, Fantasia. So it happens.
I think they do it like 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh, they might do.
They do it, or certainly more than once, maybe twice, maybe quarterly. But yeah, they do it a lot. A lot of great 40K guys out of this area. When I was doing 40K coverage 5 years ago, I love that they also now have a burgeoning Old World community. And the Swedish one of those groups that kept the fantasy flame alive during the dark times in between editions. So I'm not surprised to see such a big showing for this event.
Me either. They are using the Renegade pack in addition, so that's great for everybody to see. There is some other additional army-specific comps, like Vampire Counts can only have 3 of Wailing Dirge, and Invocation Heck is also changed as well. Dwarven Mountain Holds can have only 3 Gyrocopters. Cathay can only have 2 Sky Lanterns. You do not stack the rule from Thunderous Impact, which is the cannon. Ring of Jet is no longer extremely common. Then you have High Elves. I've got something about Flamespire Phoenixes. And then Bretonia is all about the Green Knight. And you can only have a total of 3 units of Pegasus Knights, characters on Royal Pegasus or characters on Barded Pegasuses. So that's generally an angry attack against Pegasi more than anything else. That's what that is. Okay, so if we take a look at the results, we've only got 150, and that is Christian Viberg. Val, what is in this list?
Okay, well, we got Mortuary Cults, and let's see what we got going on here. We got a High Priest, Wizard level 4, who is the General, Ruby Ring of Ruin, running Elementalism, and then, carrying some scrolls.
There we go.
The Scroll of Righteous Smiting. That's pretty fun. And then we got a Mortuary Priest with Wizard level 2, Battle Standard Bearer, running the Razor Standard, interestingly, with also on foot with the Amulet of the Serpent. And Elementalism. Then we have a High Priest, Wizard level 3, on a Bone Dragon, Lore Familiar, Talisman of Protection, Serpent Staff, and Lore of Illusion. In core, we've got 12 Skeleton Archers, 40 Skeleton Archers, with Standard Bearer on the second unit and not the previous one. And then we got 10 Skeleton Skirmishers with hand weapons. Could we scroll it down a little bit more, sir? Thank you very much. And then another 10 Skeleton Skirmishers, which is hand weapons and war bows. And then we've got 5 Ushabti with great bows and a champion. And then we got 5 Skeleton Horse Archers with war bows. And then we got a Tomb Scorpion, another Tomb Scorpion. And in rare, we got a Screaming Skull, 2 Screaming Skull, 3 Screaming Skull Catapults. What? Two, and then a Casket of Skulls. I got ahead of myself. Still, 2 Screaming Skull Catapults. Pretty cool. That's a lot of stuff. That was hard to read. You can tell this guy's playing some missions on this one.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got some of those core components that we see a lot, right? The Ushabti seem like obviously super, super key, but the Archers are kind of interesting. That's a lot of sit back and shoot. From the Tomb Scorpions and Screaming Skulls. So, but they would have been playing with the match play guide, or I'm almost certain they would have been playing with the match play guide. So yeah, okay, this is great. So yeah, I mean, that means we're starting to see lists that are really tailored more to the MPG, which is cool. And that rounds up our week.
Roundup.
Well, the 2 weeks. So it does feel like Undead
Fortnightly.
Undead dominate, but then you jump over to these SBC events, or even just some of those newer metas, newer places like China and New Zealand, and then all of a sudden you see like a very different kind of game taking place. How do you feel about that differentiation?
I think it's really cool. Obviously, with a developing community and meta, like a lot of who shows up and what armies actually play and succeed is going to be dependent on who's in the community. What do they like? What are they running? Right. We haven't gotten to that global, very homogenized meta tier yet. Although we did see a lot of common themes, obviously, in the winning lists with Undead and such. SBC so far, what has been interesting is no one has really been testing the A tier armies. So I'd be curious to see, as we see more square based comp, what does that mean? Does that mean that people are thinking that they can't possibly win with that kind of a points disadvantage? Or maybe it's just, oh wow, I have an opportunity to not run the thing I've been running for 2 years, and I can pull the, maybe my favorite army off the shelf, or one of those, BC or D tier armies out and run those. So I'll be really, really keen to see other events running square based comp. Yours, especially in December, will be really cool, and see how the spread is. And I'm now issuing a challenge. I'd love to see someone running A tier in square based comp, because I think people are using it as an opportunity to play stuff that maybe they've put back on the shelf pretty early on in the edition, and that's only cool. Like Rebecca's list for Wood Elves is just makes my tree heart sing.
Yeah, the other thing that's worth shouting out as well, we forgot to mention that there was a 1 day event running SBC as well.
Yeah,
so there's
right.
technically been 2 events so far. This was in London. It was called Attack of the Forest Goblins, and our 230s was Renegade Crowns and Orc and Goblin Tribes. Now, what's really fun about this is Malik was running Orcs and Goblin Tribes, whereas previously he was running the Cathay Balloons that he won the LGT with. So jumping back to the first army he was playing with some bonus points. Don't hate that at all, right? And then if we take a look, kind of jumping down, then we got Tomb Kings, Minotaurs in here.
Yeah, people were really trying to make Minotaurs happen. That was really great. Can you do me a favor? In Malik's, well, I'll take a look at it offline. I wanted to see, because I know I think that was mostly Goblin Fanatics, the list. So I'll be happy to go have a look at it. Be curious to know how many units you wind up bringing.
Okay. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think. We're going to be coming back with a lore from the War of the Raising of the Westerlanders, also talking about the campaign system as well, which I think could be super fun to talk about. Yeah, but if you've got any other thoughts, please let us know. And thanks to everyone on Patreon. You can join us if you want to. And we've got a fun Discord community, so that'll be cool if you want to do that. Val, any shout outs before we go?
Absolutely. Just again, check out TGX. You can find it on BCP and in the didgeridoo below, as well as the Canhammer Team Tournament up for sale this week. But you'll be able to find it at the link I provide. And also check out Rob's events, because they're awesome. And all of the events organizers around the world that we get to shout out on this. Good work. Keep it up, everybody. Let's keep growing.
Let's go. Old World takes over the world 2026. Let's go, team. See you soon. Bye.